Fixing Batman and Robin. Stay with me here because it's going to get a little dark.
You totally turned Batman and Robin from whatever PG-13 or PG now to rated R.
Yeah, step into the shadows.
We mapped the cosmic Cold War where the Jedi met the Syndicate and analyzed the master plan, the motive, and the wicked grit. From Gotham's gritty alleys to the throne room on Apocalypse, unleashing lore, heavy knowledge from the serpent's verbal exodus. Welcome to the Villainz Lair podcast. Welcome to the Villainz Lair podcast.
And welcome everybody inside the Villainz Lair on this Friday afternoon. Ryan, Alvin, how are you, my guy?
It's Friday night and the mood is right. Gonna have some fun, show you how it's done. TGIF throwback.
Yeah, we've got some cool stuff to talk about today. Some DC news, some Avengers Doomsday news, and we're gonna it's a Friday, so we're bringing back the segment for a Fix It Friday. We are gonna fix Batman and Robin. That movie had a whole lot of problems, so it only seemed right that would be one of the movies that we fix here early on. Before we get started though, just want to remind everyone how much giving us a like on these videos helps, and even becoming a subscriber so you don't miss anything along the way. We're doing this show Monday through Friday, and it really helps us out. It helps the show progress and get more eyes and become just bigger and better. And we promise you, we are going to be the preeminent spot for all your superhero and fandom news. So give us a like, subscribe to the show, and let's go. Now, we talked about some big DC news here, Alvin. What do you got?
The highly anticipated Lantern premieres on HBO Max August 16th. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Lanterns a little bit here because there's been some reports going on lately. Now, from what I gather, it's not an intergalactic setting like we're accustomed to.
Right.
It's more of a kind of like grounded and gritty True Detective style.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and also EW confirms that it's taking place in Nebraska, the year of 2016, and also present time of 2026. Right now, we're seeing Hal with a ring, and also I think we'll probably see there you go, John Stewart with the lamp. And remember, Lantern Corps rules that the lamp picks up the lantern, so we'll see what goes on with that. Also, we know that Hal Jordan is a veteran cop and John Stewart is a new recruit. And we also got a glimpse of information that Sinestro is the one who trained Hal Jordan. So it's kind of reminding me of the apprentice-master relationship, like a Jedi. It's kind of like that, similar levels of different generations of being a Lantern, probably. And the show is like a really contrast style with James Gunn's Superman, from what I gather, especially with his version of the arrogant Green Lantern he has, who has the Dumb and Dumber haircut.
Guy Gardner, who will be in more than a few scenes in this series.
Right. As for me, I want to see more non-human lanterns like Mogo, maybe a gorilla, a seahorse, and a ton of different aliens.
And unfortunately, you're about to get your heart broken because it's been confirmed by the creative staff. No Lantern Corps from off-planet in this series.
I know. That's why I'm still hopeful, because Dady also didn't mention before that it was going to take place between 2016 and 2026. So now that they actually confirmed that it will be taking place between both, I had my hopes up.
Yeah. Well, that's, there have been quotes from the showrunners and people involved with production that have described this as, a True Detective style story. And the time jumps and the time gaps make perfect sense. If you watch the first season of True Detective, you know that, Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson were being interrogated about an event, about a crime that they were trying to solve in the past, about 10 years in the past. And so there was that sort of back and forth. And so I could see where maybe they took the inspiration from True Detective in that. Mahershala Ali's season in season 3 with Stephen Dorff, same sort of thing. It bounced back from them as young detectives to retired detectives and how they were still involved in the same case. So I think that's maybe what these people are talking about when they're saying that it's very True Detective. Obviously, I think they're trying to solve a shooting that Hal thinks is alien related, but either way, I think that's the big sort of connection as far as True Detective goes.
Thank you, because I've never watched a single episode of True Detective in my whole
man, you're
life.
missing out. You got to watch season 1, season 3, season 2 season 4 is great too.
I mean, I don't know much about True Detective, but I do know my Lantern Corps, and seeing the ring here makes me excited. Seeing the lamp makes me excited. Now I'm really curious what they're gonna do with Sinestro, how he turns into like kind of like the evil Lantern, where he kind of switch sides, and maybe they'll show, you know, the yellow Lantern kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I have high hopes for this show. We've been anticipating it now for a long time. And I was saying before, just the tone of this with the True Detective style is so much different than James Gunn's Superman. So how they mesh everything together. And also, they have confirmed that Hal Jordan will be in Jonathan Stewart will be John Stewart will be in Superman. So
oh, cool.
We'll see how that one goes. I mean, it's gonna be really interesting as the Lanterns are detectives trying to investigate. What I hear is someone's gonna think it's some kind of alien stuff going on.
Hal does, yeah.
So I don't know. Should be interesting. I can't wait. August 16th. Here I come, HBO Max. You can't screw it up because Warner Brothers has a lot on the line right now.
I'll definitely be tuning in. I'm just a little curious, I guess, to put it lightly, about the tone and the decision to take probably the most off-world. I mean, obviously Superman is from another planet, but he does most of his work and he lives most of the time on planet Earth, whereas Hal Jordan is a intergalactic cop. And so of all the characters to try and do a True Detective, gritty, based in reality, as far as we know, series, Green Lantern seems like the furthest thing from that. Now maybe that's what they were thinking, maybe that's where they're like, we'll catch everyone off guard with this, but the fact that we're not going to get any of those other Green Lantern Corps from around the galaxy just seems like a huge miss and wasted opportunity. Say what you will about Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern movie. Obviously, it had a lot of issues, okay? But I still think that you have to give that movie a ton of credit for including so much of that space reality and all the friends and training and, everything that they did to make it so much more than just whatever was happening on Earth. And, I'm interested. I'm going to watch this, but I think that, I could have probably given you, 100 characters that they could have done a True Detective style, like Nightwing and Jason Todd. I think would have been an awesome True Detective style TV series.
I mean, Detective Comics is what would make sense.
Batman and Robin's obvious one, so I don't want to go there, but
it's funny you bring up that Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie, and you're right. The space part of that movie was probably the best part of that whole film. And I wasn't like, movie as a whole, sure, yeah, it did have some flaws, but just all those characters was super exciting to see on the screen,
like seeing him train and everything.
Yes, Mago and all that stuff, especially
Yeah.
at that time. The effects wasn't as great as it is now. Even if you use AI for that part, I wouldn't have cared. Now you can save money doing that. Oh my
I know.
goodness. But I have high hopes for this one though. And I think they might actually surprise you with this show.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I mean, and HBO is the one who produces True Detective. So if there's any sort of synergy, if there's anyone that can lend the expertise and this is how it's done, part of producing, they're in the right studio as far as helping do that.
Right. And I believe someone from the Watchmen is from the series Watchmen, not the movie, is heavily involved in this show too. So, and Watchmen also surprised a lot of people on how good it was for the series.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Watchmen was great. Watchmen was great.
Yeah, if they did a good job with that, I can only imagine. And plus, they've had like obviously Peacemaker is a fan favorite show now, and if they're doing a good job with that, I really have high hopes for this one. Otherwise, they're not going to put it out. If you remember, Batgirl was totally shunned, and they filmed the whole thing. So if they don't feel good about that and they feel good about this one, we'll see.
Yep. All right, let's shift gears and to the Marvel side of things. So Avengers Doomsday, we're so thirsty for any bit of news, any bit of anything, right? From this movie, because we still don't have a trailer unless you were at CinemaCon and you were able to see that trailer live and in person. They have done wonders with security not to get that thing leaked out online. So the only people that have seen it were in the room at that time. So the public is dying for anything. We are hoping for something to be attached to Mandalorian and Grogu. Doesn't sound like that's going to be the case if you listen to some of the insiders. So we have to get excited about things like this when they drop. So this is a bit of promo art that has leaked online. Obviously, it's watermarked to heck, but this is, the type of thing that'll go on a t-shirt, a lunchbox, on the back of an action figure packaging. You get a good look at Doom's mask there, and some interesting looks. Obviously we've heard that Cyclops gets the accurate costume here, and you see Florence Pugh's, Yelena Belova, really cool Captain America suit here. Thor with the short hair. There's Shuri thing, and we've seen in some of these leaked images that we weren't sure whether they were real or not, but we've seen that coat that Mr. Fantastic, that Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards is wearing there. That kind of looks like Ben Grimm's costume from the previous film a little bit, but maybe he'll still wear something pretty similar. And also a really cool look at Beast here. What do you think of this stuff?
Oh, it's I'm a little skeptical of the Cyclops in here, especially. I mean, obviously we all know that he's like pretty much a boy band member at this point, but the Cyclops looks a little bit younger than Gambit. Also, I mean, I love Gambit. Gambit looks great.
He also has a watermark that's like kind of covering his face. But yeah,
that's
I
also
hear you.
true. He doesn't seem a little younger though, but everyone else here seems like it's really on point. With Florence looks great on that one. I would put this in my backpack any day of the week.
Yeah.
I would hope McDonald's brings back those like the Batman Forever glass set, but with Avengers, and just have different characters every week. Like let's need to bring back these fast food promo merch. That would be awesome. But I don't know. Why are they teasing it up like this is my question. And where is this exactly going? Or are they just trying to get us to have theories about what's coming our way?
So this isn't coming from the studio. This is something that's leaked out online. This is probably the
Okay.
toy companies and clothing companies that are going to carry the merch. They get all that stuff through upfronts and some of the toy conventions that they're having. So they're getting all this stuff ahead of time so they can put it in production. So this is just going to be, like you said, like I'm guaranteeing you'll see a backpack, with something like this on it, and school supplies, and this is really just kind of like the promo stuff that's going to go out to the kids, lunch boxes, all those sort of things. And so it's not the most accurate. It's just kind of, this is all we got for new news from this movie, so we're gonna eyeball it and put it under the microscope as much as we can.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's cool that they're putting in our face that, hey, listen, the X-Men are going to be in this. The new Avengers are going to be in this. Fantastic Four is going to be on this.
Yeah. You're right. You've got somebody from all sides. Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Avengers, the new Avengers.
Yeah. They're literally putting it in our face now that what you're seeing is what you're going to get indefinitely. Yeah. So don't you miss this film. Make movie theaters great again. So
yeah. So speaking of movie theaters, and still while we stay with the Avengers here, a big time casting website that will post, casting calls for extras and things like that, has posted for some roles for extras, and it sounds like they're looking for enhanced beings, military personnel, civilians, scientists, fighters, survivors. Now, one of the things, spoiler alert here, earmuffs if you don't want to hear a potential spoiler. I don't know anything for sure, only from what I've heard and what I've seen from some of the scoopers online, is we can expect a big battle scene at the end. Not a spoiler, obviously, but in Latveria, where Doom's country fights back on his behalf. So maybe that's where some of the military and some of the fighters and enhanced beings come into play. Not exactly sure where those roles are in the film, but interesting that, those are the types of things that they plan on seeing.
Some Doombot action over there.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I would assume some heavy Doombot action.
I'm sorry, but while listening to you and trying to read what they possibly need, it just gives me a light bulb above my head that I want to be a part of this really bad.
Yeah, let's click that link and see how far down the rabbit hole we can go.
See, yeah, right. Me personally, I would try to go and try to be a scientist. Maybe I'll be featured. I don't want to be a civilian because I'll probably die. A survivor.
Keep the glasses on too if you're gonna do your audition for a scientist. Keep the glasses.
Exactly. I'm not going to be an enhanced being. I don't think they're going to cast me for that. Or a fighter. I think it's a little too late for me on that one. But I definitely not want to be a survivor. I've seen how those guys, treat their cronies. We'll be really crippled. And then, then our family's going to avenge their deaths like against Punisher. So I'm going for the scientist. I'm going to click on that link and try to be a scientist.
Yeah, that how cool would that be to be in Avengers Doomsday, like in any capacity, whether I'm like walking by in the background or anything. I would take any opportunity to get a shot at being in that one.
Yeah, right. Like it just reminds me of a Bonesaw and that wrestling match against Peter Parker.
To be in the crowd would have been awesome.
Yeah, just to be in the front row in the crowd cheering my ass off. That would be great.
All right. Well, since it is a Friday, we're going to bring back our Fix It Friday segment.
I love that intro. It's like that big, like Batgirl, Catwoman.
Yeah,
kind of
he's got the
mashup.
wrench that is like a doubles as multi-tools, and yeah, it's pretty good. So the movie we want to fix today is Batman and Robin.
Oh,
Can't think of a better Batman movie with more issues and with more fan hate and just absolute ridicule than Batman and Robin. So Alvin, I'm going to give you the floor here to fix Batman and Robin first.
all right. Let me breathe in, breathe out real quick. You give me PTSD on this. All right. So going into this movie, when it first got announced, everyone was excited. Everyone was excited because people still had love for Batman Forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, as a kid at the time, the promotion everywhere was uncanny. Taco Bell had these billboards of Alicia Silverstone and George Clooney as Batman, Chris O'Donnell. All three of them was just like presented in a Taco Bell banner, as well as Mr. Freeze with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and also Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. So last time I really ranted about Spider-Man 3. I'm gonna rant less about this one and really try to fix this movie, Ryan. So the ending to Batman Forever, right? We see Edward Enigma and Arkham Asylum, and he didn't give away who Bruce Wayne is as Batman, and he's still alive. Two-Face is gone, and Batman and Robin starts running off in their iconic like slow motion run with the music that goes do 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 do. Amazing stuff, amazing ending. So you're excited what's next to come in that after that trilogy. And then they announced there's going to be a Batman and Robin. Now let me take you back. There's a development and pre-production. Val Kilmer is not signed on to being Batman and Robin. One, because he didn't want to do it anymore. He walked out. Plus he was doing The Saints during that time, and it was shooting around the same time as Batman and Robin. So that was fine. George Clooney was fine. I was okay with George Clooney being Bruce Wayne. Here's what I would change right now. Bane, Arnold is not going to be Mr. Freeze. We're going to change that casting. Arnold is still staying in the movie, but he's going to be Bane. Okay? It only makes sense for him to Bane, except for Bane being like a lackey little dude and becoming Bane from one of Poison Ivy's fumes. We're going to change that, and he's going to become a tactical genius like in the comics who notoriously broke the bat. And like I said, he's not going to be like a grunting henchman for Poison Ivy. So we're going to fix that part of Bane up. I like what they did with Poison Ivy. That's cool. She was all about like, saving the planet, blah, 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 saving her plants. But we're going to change the part up where she wants to fix everything by freezing the whole planet. I don't think scientists are going to agree with her that that's going to fix nature in its course. So we're going to take that part out.
Okay.
And we're going to leave Uma Thurman there as Poison Ivy, and she's pissed about her plants dying and stuff, and we're gonna make this about and with Mr. Freeze we're gonna change his backstory a little bit. Now with Mr. Freeze, he's gonna be played by none other than he's not gonna be Arnold anymore. So
okay,
he's gonna be played by Patrick Stewart.
Ah, okay.
Which is funny because I feel like Joel Schumacher wanted him to begin with. So his backstory is now it's like the Batman animated series episode, right? The Heart of Ice. Mm-hmm. Victor Freeze isn't trying to freeze the world. He's like a grieving scientist trying to fund research for his cure for cryogenically frozen, terminally ill wife, Nora. So while he's trying to fix like her disease, an accident mutates him and strips him of all the physical warmth and emotion, and he becomes literal and metaphorical shell of a man, driven purely by tragedy. I think that would make more sense than what Arnold was. And he doesn't want to. He wants to conquer Gotham at this point, and he wants to save his wife at any human cost. So we'll leave it at that. And like I said, we're taking away also Batgirl. She's not going to be Alfred's niece because that was just stupid.
Yeah, that was.
She's not going to be. Alicia Silverstone at that time was really hot, so obviously it made sense to cast her. So she's not going to be Alfred's niece. She's going to be back to Jim Gordon's daughter, and instead of like all of a sudden, she gets a suit from Alfred and all this stuff, she's going to be creating it on her own, like Batgirl kind of does. She invests in her own time and her own being, and she creates her own suit. And whatever happens in there is total opposite of this teenage drama that she was in with Dick Grayson. We're taking all that out.
Yeah. Fixing the plot holes. That's for sure.
Fixing the plot holes. And also we're taking away the Batman nipple suit because that is just very distracting.
Yeah, that was one of Joel Schumacher's big things, man.
Yeah, it was. It was huge. But with that, so now you got Mr. Freeze's different backstory, and then you got Poison Ivy fixing the world because all her plants are dying, and I like her original backstory. We keep that, except we're just changing the part out about her freezing the whole earth. We're going to take that. We're keeping some of the Batman and Robin relationship of, Robin, they're always bickering with each other. They had a different contrast, and Robin's, always like, he's a little pissed at Bruce Wayne every now and then to just let him be who he is. Obviously, you're going to have those contrasts. You can keep a little bit of that. And we're taking away the first scene of Mr. Freeze in the ice skating rink.
Thank you. Oh, God. What a horrible scene.
We're taking that thing out. And,
Batman on ice.
I don't want to get too far into this because I already said enough, so I'll let you take over the rest of my plot.
Yeah.
but we can still keep Enigma a little bit in there. Maybe they're having a hard time figuring out like everything going on because they're facing a very militant Bane now. He's not going to be the little Bane who has no brains. He's a little bit smarter, teamed up with Poison Ivy, and he's not going to be just a henchman. So you got 3 villains in there, and maybe they need a little bit of brains with Enigma to help solve these issues to win this battle against them. Kind of like in the comic books where Enigma kind of teams up with detectives, having like that.
It's very Hannibal-ish.
Hannibal-ish help. Yeah, we can do that a little bit. Keep Jim Carrey up in there. I'm okay with George Clooney. He was fine. I don't hate him too much. So, like I said, I can go on this over and over, but I'll let you take over.
All right. Yeah, fix some plot holes. More exciting movie, probably less camp, as it sounds like in your film. So, yeah, I think less bat nipples. So, yeah, I think you've fixed it dramatically. All right. So, fixing Batman and Robin. Stay with me here because it's gonna get a little dark. I'm gonna keep George.
Remember,
Clooney.
They still want to sell the toys, though.
Oh, there's gonna be plenty of toys. We're gonna keep Clooney. We're gonna keep Chris O'Donnell's Robin, but we are gonna lose Batgirl from the script completely. We are going to keep Poison Ivy, but we are going to lose Mr. Freeze, and we are going to lose Bane from the script completely. And we are going to replace those 2 villains with one here. And it is going to be the Scarecrow, Dr. Jonathan Crane.
Wow.
So the Scarecrow is the actual big bad of Batman and Robin. We are also going to lose, and we're going to fire Joel Schumacher because he had to have bat nipples, and the bat nipples don't fit the tone of what we're creating here. So instead, we are going to replace Joel Schumacher with David Fincher, who, if you've seen the movie Seven, you know things can get a little dark. So that's what we're going to do here. David Fincher's Batman and Robin. So the movie is about trauma and dealing with trauma. So Poison Ivy's character, Dr. Pamela Isley, has lost her daughter, and she is going to see a psychiatrist who specializes in trauma and things like this, and it's the Scarecrow. And so when you see the Scarecrow throughout early on in the movie, he has a couple of houseplants in his office that no matter how many times he sprays, nothing, wherever he positions them, they're always like dying, and it kind of like bums him out a little bit. But when Ivy comes in, or when Pam comes in to visit him for her sessions, the plants always perk up, and he starts to kind of realize this. And he's going through these sessions with her, and he realizes that something is off. So he convinces her that we need to do some hypnotherapy sessions in order to kind of unlock the trauma and help you get over the pain of your daughter dying of cancer. And instead, he starts to find out that she has this effect on plant life. When he puts her under, she talks about it, and he notices the plants perk up more and more. And he eventually realizes that she can help him, because there is as we know, there is a darker side to Dr. Crane, and he uses her in these moments to help create these plants, these hallucinogenic plants that help him with his serum, so that he can commit these. So what he ends up doing is, after their sessions, he goes out and he puts this hallucinogen in people, and they commit murder. And so Batman and Robin are now tied up with trying to looking for a serial killer, but it's not just one person. It's the Scarecrow creating these murderers with the help of Poison Ivy and the hallucinogenic plants that she's creating for him. So as the movie evolves and we kind of get to the end, Ivy realizes what's happening. So as Batman and Robin are closing in, and they're going to, they think they're going to get to Scarecrow, and we set up for this like big battle sequence where he is going to have Ivy basically be his protector to fight off Batman and Robin. But he doesn't know that she's realized that she's being used as a pawn, and it like infuriates her. And as they go to, you think that she's going to protect him, she has these big, sort of little shop of horrors, but massive, plants, and they attack Scarecrow and eat him, and then they evolve into an even bigger plant. So it's just this massive giant plant that Batman and Robin have to fight against, and they really can't do anything. And they have figured out along the way who she is and her past and her trauma as a mom losing a child, and Dick and Bruce's trauma as children losing their parents. They are able to sort of bounce that off, and in the midst of fighting and being like tied up by this giant monster plant as she's fighting back, they're able to get through to her to kind of snap out of it for a second and empathize that they share this similar trauma, but from different sides of everything. And it gives them just enough of a pause and for them to hit her with like some sort of needle that has a serum in it that takes the plants, it kills the plants, and is able to render her unconscious. And they take her, and she ends up in Arkham.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. We just lost Taco Bell. we just lost Taco Bell and
As a
Hasbro
sponsor.
as our sponsors.
Yeah. Now, having said that, I know that Poison Ivy and Scarecrow's arcs follow each other in Absolute Batman right now. I am not caught up. I have no idea if any of this is similar to what's going on in Absolute Batman right now. I promise this is all from me. I came up with it on the treadmill. I am still back in the Bane Killer Croc part of the Absolute Batman arc around episode or issue 10. So I have not got to the Poison Ivy and Scarecrow part. So I just want to like put that out there in case you're in the comments going, dude, you totally ripped off major plot points from Absolute Batman. I have no clue what's going on right now in Absolute Batman.
I mean, that's pretty good, especially this around my age right now and watching it as a film. You totally turned Batman and Robin from whatever PG-13 or PG now to rated R. I can see.
I mean, the Batman was pretty dark, and it was still a PG-13.
That's true. Maybe Batman and Robin was PG, but I feel like if I included I'm picturing Batman. Batman Begins mixed in with Poison Ivy being in there.
Mm-hmm.
The more you're telling that story, the more I'm picturing, Batman Begins, but we're still putting in Uma Thurman in there because,
right? Yeah, got to.
Mind you, at that time she was like Alicia Silverstone. They were all like getting really hot amongst Hollywood elite levels acting, and I believe I could be wrong on this one. Pulp Fiction might have came out before Batman and Robin.
It did.
So she might have been fresh off that, and
yeah.
And I was saying Alicia Silverstone was doing a lot of things. And I can see Uma Thurman, especially from, Pulp Fiction, playing that darker side of Poison Ivy all the way. But like I was saying, I didn't mind Poison Ivy's backstory in Batman and Robin. They actually got that on point. Mm-hmm. It was my only problem with it was just the way she was trying to, freeze the earth. That part didn't make sense for trees and plants to survive having a frozen fucking earth.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
And do you think we could sell toy syringes with like the Scarecrow's like logo on it or something?
I laugh about that. My daughter actually has a toy syringe now from her doctor.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be sharp or anything, but yeah.
So that's okay. Like people are probably thinking syringes. What for crackheads? No, there's actually toy syringes.
Yeah, with like a little lime green liquid in it that like when you tilt it side to side.
Yeah, especially around that time.
Yeah. Well, I hope we were able to fix Friday. Hopefully we were able to fix Batman and Robin in a couple ways, whether your tastes different. I hope Alvin and I had something for everyone here in order to fix Batman and Robin. Any final thoughts before we go?
Yeah, man. I just want to say thank you for all the people that's been watching this for the past 3 weeks. We're just going to keep it going. We're just getting started. And in the weeks to come, we'll surprise you with who might come on this show and things that we're going to talk about. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Like the show, give us a like if you liked it. Look out for some of these, stories in your YouTube shorts if you're a subscriber.
Oh, wait. I got one more thing to say. The sweepstakes.
Yeah, the sweepstakes. If you guys haven't seen our post yet, we will be reposting it. You can win a free copy of Insomniac's new Wolverine game. There's some rules. You got to be a subscriber. You got to share it. You got to like the post. You got to follow us on Instagram. But when you see that post come through your feed, make sure you get involved and you enter in this sweepstakes because we are going to give out a free copy of Insomniac's Wolverine on the PS5. and that is for hitting 500 subscribers. We want to hit 500. So tell your friends about the show and make sure that you get involved in that.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, have a great weekend, and we will see you on the next one.